Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about three-time Mr. Olympia Frank Zane from 77 to 79. And Frank Zane basically started bodybuilding, watching a lot of the muscle builder magazines when he was a kid. Frank Zane also had a Bachelor of Science degree that he received in 1964, where he used to teach mathematics and chemistry in the city of California and Florida for about 13 years. This guy was one of the intellectual type of bodybuilders. He actually thought of bodybuilding in a scientific way. At the same time, Frank Zane was one of the ones that he only competed at about 180 to 185 pounds. Off season, he would only get up to about 200 pounds. This right here is something that the old schoolers always have done. They never got too far away from their competition weight. They never ballooned up like today's bodybuilders, 30, 40 pounds and sometimes 50 pounds and have to dive back down. They always stayed close to their competition weight, which it made it easier for them to get in shape. And that's how come they were in better shape than today's bodybuilders, because they were so close to their competition shape year round. It was easy for them to really hone their bodies in and get all the details that they needed in that body to have it presented on stage. Now, Frank Zane actually ended up losing the Olympia in 1980 to Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is still one of the most controversial Mr. Olympias. But Frank Zane, by all means, should not have won that competition because he was in a very bad accident, which actually caused him to lose about 15 pounds of muscle. So he came in third, but considering what happened to him, he wasn't going to win the competition anyway that particular year. But Frank Zane had one of those type of physiques that if you put a shirt on, you can tell that the guy even lift weights. And because of his win, this is one of those times that bodybuilding went from size to aesthetics. And that right there within itself lets you know that it can transition from the size again and go back to the aesthetics. And it seems like that's what most of the fans really want. They want bodybuilding to get back to more of the aesthetic type of bodybuilding rather than this mass building type bodybuilding. But that remains to be seen. As long as they keep producing these mass monsters, it's hard to say whether or not they're going to actually start dinging these guys. As of lately, there's been a lot of complaint about these bubble guts. So hopefully that'll be enough to be able to push the body weights down where you can end up with decent looking bodybuilders. Now, like I said, Frank Zane was very ecstatic. Very ecstatic. And the guy physique was bar none one of the best in the business back in his time. And at the same time, he was one of those bodybuilders that didn't lift real heavy weights at all. It always was light to moderate. When he first started off, it was really light, until Joe Weider talked him into lifting a little bit heavier in order for him to gain a little bit more size, for he could be more competitive. But Frank Zane, if you take a look at these photos that I've been showing you, you see that this guy right here was no slouch when it came down to dieting. And he was also one of those dieters that's pretty much used a type of keto diet. And that's how he brought his body to look like it is now and the way it is. So Frank Zane, one of the bodybuilders greats, and it was somebody I thought I should talk about. That's what I want to talk to y'all about. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And again, I'll be talking to you later.